Greetings and welcome to another edition of Top 10 Worst of Lists. The best of worst of lists is voted by the Top 10 Worst List Adjudicating Society for 3 months in a row, not counting last month. I'm your host for today's endeavor, intellectual, spiritual, emotional enlightenment, Bob, Four Apples, and what an exciting time it's been. We've been on a roll here with Top 10 Worst of Lists. Recently had some incredible lists, include Top 10 Worst Things to Sneak into Someone's 7-layer dip at a Super Bowl party, Top 10 Worst Songs to Play while tossing someone's salad, and Top 10 Worst Times to Cheat on Your Allergy Test. Today's Top 10 Worst of Lists is not letting it up at all. Just a full court press. Top 10 Worst of Lists continues. It's Top 10 Worst Crack House Kiosk Ideas. Now let me explain this a little bit for you. Those of you who have a little trouble kind of finding your way around a magnificent, lucrative, billion-dollar, gold-plated, platinum-laced ideas such as this. Because the whole idea of making businesses ideas is that you find an area of need and you find an area of your expertise and combine the two and you just immediately get $1 billion from it. Now, look, if there's one thing I know, it's hardcore drug addictions and addicts and people who are looking to forget about the horribleness of their lives and just completely black out on, and so that's the areas of expertise. But more importantly, what's the one most underserviced market in today's modern day culture? Crack houses. Look, when you're in the crack house, it's, I think a lot of people have misconstrued notions of what it's like in there's, it's not like people, completely run out of needs and stuff. Like, it's not just like crack houses. Sometimes you're doing the crack and canes and you get, maybe thirsty. You need to juice up your electrolyte systems, right? Well, what are you going to do? You're all messed up on crack. It's not like you go running around all over the place. But what if there was a kiosk that had cold beverages to replenish your electrolytes without having to go out? Wouldn't you buy, the Powerades and stuff? Of course you would. If people aren't dumb. Well, I guess the jury's still out on that one. But hey, whatever. I mean, we're talking, you know how many trap houses, crack houses, whatever you want to call them, are out there, and absolutely zero of them have any kiosks. It's an untapped market, virginal untapped markets. I tell you, goddamn. If that doesn't make you excited, then I just don't know what is. I mean, what the hell are we doing here? Huh? Just spinning our wheels just to hear the sound of the mellifluous tones of my booming baritone voice. Now, I wouldn't blame you for that, but hey, what the hell? We can do better than that, right? We got a limited amount of time on this earth. The AI robots. They're coming. They're going to be here any minute now. So you might as well cash in now, baby. You might still be able to get that golden ticket that allows us to be in the billionaire shelters stuff. Or maybe even, get preserved on the farms where they keep all the people they're going to harvest for vital organs for the billionaire class rulers of the planet. I mean, there's a lot of flex in here that things could go in a lot of different directions. It doesn't necessarily have to be haywire. There's going to be probably 1 million to 2 million survivors. Maybe some Hunger Games, sort of death games and stuff like that they'll want to do. The billionaires love to watch, people suffer. So there's lots of possibilities here. If we can show some ingenuities and stuff, we might be able to have, a fighting option to be able to survive the great human purge. So I'm trying to help here, and I don't know. I don't know if if you're picking up on that, or you still think that I'm coming at you with some sort of weird sort of way of exploiting you or cashing in on your misery. I would love to cash in on your misery. Somebody should. It doesn't have to. Why do always have to be the bad people that cash in on our misery? So anyway. I wanted to point out that if some of the things I'm going to assert, there could be assertions in this thing. This one seems to be, kind of lowbrow and stuff like that. Maybe a little exploitative. This isn't necessarily high-minded. Diatribes can appear at any minute in one of these things. Trust me, I am as capable of a meandering sidebar as anybody you've ever seen in any blog anywhere. So I can't say for sure, but looking at this list, it seems like this one's going to be a reasonably glib edition of Top 10 Worst Devs. But before we get to that, I also want to make sure that you know that, some of those things, you're going to have to fact check for yourself. I don't have the time to frickin' fact check this stuff. I know a lot of it's going to be like, probably borderline accurate, maybe totally accurate, maybe not. But I really feel, quite honestly feel that I do a pretty darn good job at distilling some of the things that are out there in the public. But, I don't have a list of footnotes and stuff like that I've made where I get all this stuff from. It's too much. It's just me and, I've got a couple of former dental hygienists who gathered together with me outside of the Stuckies on Route 83 in the parking lot and take copious doses of ecstasy mixed with children's Tylenol to come up with these lists. And so I don't, I'm doing the best I can. But if you hear something that, doesn't sound right or whatever, you should be fact-checking this stuff. You should be fact-checking everything that you goddamn see, goddammit. And then secondly, I'm not a partisan. Heck, I'm not out to make any, sort of conquest here and win over a big, huge voting block. It's not some disguised fake grassroots movement and stuff like a Charlie Kirk or Charles Schultz. Excuse me, pardon me. Oh, sorry. No, I'm not like that. I'm not down. I'm not into it. I don't need to. I'm done. I've been 30 years trying to do stuff like this to absolutely no effect whatsoever. I am the stereotypical washout. Look at me. Just a big, giant, hairy, useless fuzzball. Discarded by the mainstream and marginalized by our malefactors. All right. One last final thing before we get on with it. Let's get it on. Mills Lane, as Mills Lane would say. And it's time for commercials, baby. Because, everybody's got to be, completely, at this point, it's more important to have commercial sponsors than it is to have a salient point or an intellectual objective. So, we'll pick up where we left off last time. This show is in part sponsored by Bird Bath & Beyond. We've got lots of bird baths and stuff way beyond bird baths. Bird Bath & Beyond. And then there's Blunderwear, the adult protective undergarments for, when you're stuck in traffic and baby makes a powie. It's Blunderwear, adult protective undergarments. New from iZod from Apple. Buy the new iZod from Apple. It does the same thing all the other products do, except it comes in a different shape. Kneel before iZod. Buy it now or we'll banish you to the 24 bits per second zone, where everything is on dial-up modem forever. And then canceling people over names/words only makes a bully stronger. The best way to go is to make people unoffendable. That's the only way to take the power away from the bully. I don't know why that's with the commercials. From the producers of the movie Basic Instinct comes the movie sequel without equal. It's the Basic In Sync. The Basic Instinct takeoff with In Sync showing their junk to cops in an interrogation room. It's easily worth the price of admissions or submissions, depending on where you're looking at it as. And coming soon, it's a complimentary buffet, a buffet that gives out compliments. My sir, what an excellent choice you've made with loading up on the pasta salad. It's complimentary buffet, the buffet that gives out compliments. And from the producers of the movie Jack Reacher comes Jack Reach Around. Always fun and entertaining for those of you who like that type of stuff. And for those of you who are into Divide and Conquer, it's from the producers of The Mandalorian. Now comes the Machiavellian, who creates. I mean, you don't know who Machiavelli is. This is stupid. These are all so stupid. And another round of stupid ones. I'm sorry. And the real hidden idea is when they legalize cocaine, you can open a dispensary called Spliff and Sniff with marijuanas and cocaine's. Well, see, that, I could see that. Or maybe they could do with a Spliff and Sniff with Adderall. Maybe they could do that in the meantime while they're waiting for the cocaines to get. Now, I personally think that ending the drug prohibition is mandatory policy. If you want to really defund the police without you're putting all the innocent citizens at risk, which is what they all programmed you with that idea for in the first place. End the drug prohibition already. I mean, we saw it back in the 1920s when they prohibited alcohols and how much it just gave a bunch of money over to criminals and turned like responsible citizens who were otherwise sort of law-abiding citizens into criminals and all kinds of criminals things. You notice, have you picked up on a theme? Criminals getting money, well, nowadays, it's the same difference. And they've got clearly this is organized and perpetuated at a very high level. It's been 50 years since the drug war was officially started by Richard Nixon, and haven't done a goddamn thing. It hasn't done. I mean, if anything, it's worse. Deaths are worse. Addictions worse. Everything is worse. Movies are kind of worse, really. And so on and so forth. So why do we keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again and expecting different results? Somebody told me somewhere that's how the defects in the brains. A sign of defects in the brains for sure. Let's end the drug prohibition. You can take away something along the lines of 60% of the state prison have drug-related offenses or while they're in prison. So you can get rid of all that. That's defunding the police, right? And then you won't have to have as many police on the front lines adjudicating drug-related busts and such. And then you can take all that money, and put it into rehabs and caseworkers and jobs programs and stuff like that, all with positive aspects instead of the punitive nature of, police and the threat of having them, exhibit too much zeal for violent behavior towards, the usual suspects. And so there you go. So the real hidden agenda is why, when they legalize cocaine, you can open up a place called Spliff and Sniff that gives you just another motivative factor for you to legalize the drugs and prostitution already, goddammit. If you can pay someone to have sex with you on camera and sell it as a goddamn porno, why can't you give somebody some money just to have sex with you without the porno? Why is it this country always says like, oh well, if it's a business, then it's okay, that's fine. But if it's somebody just needing to get their rocks off, oh no, hold on, it should be the other way around. It should be legal to have like your normal, if anything, to have your normal, sort of get your rocks off thing. I mean, I think there'd be a lot less tension, inhibitions in the world, and probably even a lot less rape going on if people had like legitimate ways to get their rocks off with well trained and attentive professionals. I mean, none of it makes any sense unless you're trying to make our lives horrible, which is the whole thing that the top 10 worst of list is all about. It's pointing that out, that they aren't incapable people who are trying to help us, but are just too much of goofballs to be able to get it done, or partisan politics, or any of the other excuses that they will throw up as scapegoat reasons for them not being able to do anything for the working class, although they pretty much clear the decks pretty good when it comes time to doing something that benefits the rich people. So there's that to consider. But the fact is that, just a lot of people are out there, suffering a whole bunch. And, it's time to kick them in the nuts for a little while. I don't know what my point was. I had another point, but I just can't remember what the hell it was. From the producers of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, now comes the Texas Seesaw Massacre. This is like chainsaw murderers in a playground on a seesaw together, making jokes about Texas likes its beef, and I don't remember what any of the other quotes. It's Texas Seesaw Massacre, and finally, coming up, it's the Shanghai Shrek, the Viet Cong version of Shrek, the movie Shrek, Shanghai Shrek, coming soon to help turn your kids into wannabe criminals and America bashers. All right, so here we go. We've made it through the gauntlet of horribly written, unfunny commercials, fake commercials. And we're ready to do this juicy freaking list. Top 10 worst crack house kiosk ideas. Number 10, the kiosk. This is the one that I wanted to open up to sort of, put my toe in the water and see how it works out. Pretzel kiosk, where they replace the salt with crystal meth. I think this is the perfect entry gateway into a top 10 things to do in kiosks to run in a crack house. Like, you're sitting there, you're doing your crack and stuff like that. It's like you're not going to get super hungry, but every once in a while, you need a port. Every port needs storm. Every storm in a port. I don't know what the hell what am I doing? All right, pretzel kiosk. Some people want to eat, and you got meth crystals instead of salt crystals. Okay, that's it. Are you up to speed now? Jesus Christ, all you freaking... I need to... Oh, by the way, before we get too started and everything like that, I want to introduce my co-host for today's show. It's Outboard Sound Effects cheap-ass / free sound effects console. That's right. All right, number 9 of the top 10 worst crack house kiosk ideas. Custom ammo kiosk, okay? Follow me with this one, where they hand paint crack house logos on the bullet casing. Now, it could be any logo, really, if the crack house patron, customer, would like to have a logo of their own. I don't know what a crack house guy would be doing. Like, banana. They want to have a logo of a banana. or a eggplant, or if they want to have, the lyrics to their latest opera, or uh, the lyrics to Blue Oyster Cult's Don't Fear the Reaper. I don't know what people want to put on their freaking bullets, but you could have like a custom ammo kiosk where they hand paint logos on bullet casings. All right? I don't know why you're crawling up my ass on this one. That's not like any different than any other top 10 worst of absurd ridiculousness that I've presented before. Top 10 worst crack house kiosk ideas. Number 8, Opium Den Kiosk, featuring a fully outfitted opium rig, pipe lighter associate, and bamboo fainting couch. See, I mean, that's what I'm saying is like there's plenty of crossover opportunities to make some extra scratch in these trap houses and such. You know, there's billions of dollars that's being left on the table here for the right sort of entrepreneurial spirit. Sitting back, you got the guys lighting up your pipe. He pipes his, and you're like, yeah. Pot holders. Oh, Jesus. Number 7, top 10 worst crack house kiosk ideas. Hemp pot holders kiosk with the heat-resisting pads to help handle all the hot pipes without scalding. And sometimes the hot soup. I don't know. It's damn hot in here. 4:30 in the morning. This is my 5th episode of the session. It's easily 85 degrees in here and 1,000% humidity. And so I'm slipping a little bit here on my, 2 scoops. Hearty crack. A delicious part of any balanced breakfast. With top 10 worst stuff, it's all frills, no thrills. Wait, is that right? Right. All right, number 6 of the top 10 worst crack house kiosk ideas. Call it the Glass House's Kiosk, featuring an array of glass pipes for every style and taste, because nothing is as much of a buzzkill as having the only pipe in the house in the crack house crack. So you want to crack a pipe in the crack house, because that's counterproductive. And you don't want to go search around. It's 2 o'clock in the freaking morning, and you don't know where to go. To pick up a fresh pipe, and none of the head shops are going to be open 2 in the morning, and certainly not the well-respected ones that most crack house patrons will seek out to, so long as they can keep the finest and high-quality glass pipes at the ready. With Glass House kiosks, never worry about the party being brought to a sudden end again. Again. All right, number 5, the top 10 worst crack house kiosk ideas. Blacklight poster kiosk, because while the blacklight poster crowd is usually into a drug with, more of a psychedelic bent, just 1 or 2 of these posters can really provide just enough decor to make the otherwise totally empty crack house, really feel super depressing, which can help jack up the sales for the lost souls you'd normally find indulging in such places. In other words, you got one, half torn up blacklight poster at the end of the crack house room and nothing else in the whole place. You look at it and you're like, oh man, this is, I've really hit rock bottom. It sets the mood. It really does. So, again, clean up. These are all multi-million. Are you writing these down? Multi-million ideas. I'm giving you gold. Gold-plated platinum here. Number 3 of the top 10 worst crack house kiosk ideas. Number 4. Sorry. Number 4 of the top 10, top 9 crack house. No, top 10 worst crack house ideas. Custom dentures while you wait kiosk can do brisk business in crack houses where a large swath of the clientele might be more down with meth, Those guys lose teeth faster than the drunk Uber driver loses their 5-star rating. So while they're getting their smoke on, custom dentures can be fashioned and waiting, at the kiosk by the time they recover from passing out. It's custom dentures while you wait kiosk. It's all frills, no thrills with top 10 worst of lists. That's for damn sure. Number 3, the top 10 worst crack house list kiosk ideas. Crack Home Depot kiosk. An offshoot of regular Home Depots, provides plywood to board up windows after drive-bys and buckets for leaks that spring in the neglected rooftop, etc. Drywall for occasional patch jobs. It's Crack Home Depot kiosk. Making the way, it would help a lot. Number 2, the top 10 worst crack house kiosk ideas would be 724. A new convenience store kiosk is a knockoff of 7-Eleven stores, but open 24 hours a day instead of only 11 hours. Why is 7-Eleven still called 7-Eleven anyway? They're not open for 11 hours anymore. I mean, many of them are open all night. Some of them are open till 2 or midnight or something like that. They're not 7 to 11 anymore. Are they? Do they even open at 7? I don't even know. What the hell? It's been so long since I've frequented. And they're closing all over the place like every other goddamn business in the United States. And the total economic collapse that's precipitated by, that we can see happening if we look at the amount of gas sales and how it's plummeted. And the whole Iran war is probably just a proxy to keep us from recognizing the fact that gas prices are just deflated, worse than when it was in the Great Recession. And for longer. And, people would start to realize it. And so that's why they're like, well, we've got to come up with some sort of distraction, artificially increase gas prices. But now they're actually starting to report that even with the Iran war, that there's still a massive glut of oil and gas in the marketplace because demand is plummeting. Million of gallons or something like that, less than something crazy. The numbers are crazy. The economy of the world and certainly of the United States is collapsing, and they're hiding it from us. The plummeting gas prices would be at like probably $1.50 a gallon or something like that without these artificial means of the war, because there's just, if they can see demand plummeting with 11 million gallons a day, which is what the Straits of Hormuz being blocked is depriving the world of, and still see a lowering of demand with 11 million gallons of oil off the table, then something is really super wrong. And the gas prices won't lie like the newspaper. They can job a bunch of fake numbers for the economy and stuff like that. You see in every goddamn shopping mall is shuttered. You see every goddamn major league chain is retreating, closing up hundreds of locations. There's something really nasty that's happening in our world that they're keeping from us. And I think the Iran war, and Iran's just a proxy for the United States. I mean, if you can't realize that, it really is probably, you're just probably just robot fodder for the AI purge, robotic AI purge coming up. It's just like, hey, what are you going to do when you've got tons and tons of job reports coming out in the newspaper every day saying how this corporation laid off 100,000 workers or whatever it is, and stuff like that, and they keep telling you that the job numbers are great and whatnot. It's serial lying at a level that we've never seen before, and I think they're doing it because that they know that the gas prices reveal things that the newspapers won't. They can't lie about. It's too massive to have the demand for gas plummeting so low and the prices being so low for so long, it's like people will be starting to talk about that stuff, and it'll reveal the whole plan of just collapsing all of the economy of the United States and just watching it destroy the economies of the industrialized world. They got something planned. It's going to be big. It's going to be massive. And by the time that we recognize what it is, they're going to have the AI robots doing all the police work. And you thought that the, regular municipal police and ICE and the thing were bad. Where did they get you the taste of the AI robots? Chasing you down, feeding you to the AI robotic dogs, and they've got no feelings or sensitivity whatsoever. They will just kill you, slaughter you, round you up, render your fat into women's perfume products or candles. And it's just, I think it's that far progressed. This could be the last time I ever bring you top 10 worst of lists. There's another point that I was going to make. I also forgot. Sorry. I need to start, I've mentioned this before. I need to start jotting down my ideas as I'm flowing through my improv ideas. But putting a 724, as I call it, because it's open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, convenience store kiosk in crack houses is, carry crack house and narcotic use accessories that can really come in handy, such as baking soda, naloxone, cold sore cream, pocket lighters, huff rags, and clean needles. All right, we finally made it through to the number one in record time. I think this is the shortest top 10 worst I've ever done. Of the top 10 worst crack house kiosk ideas, number one, burner phone kiosk can do real well, especially in the upper scale crack houses where the dealer trap house managers can go through a burner phone every couple of weeks. Oh, yes. Burner phone kiosks. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Whew, what an incredible list. And I'm sure that many of you, the more assertive types, might be able to pick up on some of these ideas and get yourself a whole kiosk franchise for, who knows, any one of these things. Crack Home Depot kiosk franchise sounds like a good money winner. Pretzel kiosks in crack houses where they can have the salt replaced with the crystal meth and all kinds of different stuff. What a pleasure it's been to be able to bring to you another top 10 worst of list. The fastest rising, least, well, maybe not fastest rising, I think is probably an overestimation. Good, optimistic way of describing the commercial viability of top 10 worst of lists. We still continue to hover at something along the lines of 1.2 viewers per episode. Hey, but they're great viewers. I love each and every one of them. All right, so anyway, tune in next time, if this is helping you doze off, fall asleep, as I am guessing it very well might. Tune in again next time as we present tomorrow, in fact, as we present another top 10 worst of lists. It's top 10 worst spice rubs to top 10 worst top 10 worst times to tell your spouse that you've been banging their sister. All right, so come on back again next time. We'll treat you to a whole heap and helping of our top 10 worst of hospitality. And don't forget, let's try to get through this stuff together, all right? All right, so see,